Welcome to this lesson on P.6 English, Term 1, where our topic is safety on the road. The topic is safety on the road. And like any other topic, in safety on the road, we have different subtopics we look at and other different aspects. So today, our focus is on adjectives. Adjectives, we are in the grammar part of it. Adjectives are what you looked at in P1, P2, P3, P4, and other classes of lower and middle primary. I believe you have heard of the word adjectives. It's not new in your ears. Like other terms we come across, you want to master the definition first. So what is an adjective? An adjective is a word used to describe a noun or a pronoun to describe. Is a word used to describe a noun or a pronoun. What does describe mean then? Maybe the word describe is strange. Describe means talking more. So to describe is to talk more about something. So if adjectives are used to describe nouns or pronouns, then we use them to talk more about those nouns or about those pronouns. Adjectives talk more about nouns, or they give more information about nouns or pronouns. That's the meaning of adjectives. If I want something, okay, we've ever learned that a noun is a name of anything. So look around you, in the room, in the kitchen, in the environment outside the house. You'll discover there are different things, different items where you can see outside. I can say tent. So a tent is a noun. I can describe that noun, the tent, using a word, and that word I will use to describe the tent will be our adjective. Okay. Next, another point here we are noting is an adjective can come before. Let's first leave the words in brackets. An adjective can come before or after the noun. What happens when it comes before a noun? We say we have used that adjective in attributive position. In attributive position. So look at a sentence. If there is a noun described using a specific adjective, we shall say if that adjective has appeared before that noun it is describing, we shall say the adjective has been used in attributive position. Attributive position. But what happens when the adjective or the word describing the noun comes after the noun itself? The word we are using to describe the noun is appearing after the noun. Some people call it in end position. If it comes in end position, in other words, if an adjective appears in end position in your sentence, grammatically, we call that the predicative position. We call that the predicative position. Master the spelling. So here we say attributive, that is before the noun. Here we see predicative, that is after the noun, or in end position. What do we mean by end position? We are meaning at the end of a sentence, at the end of a sentence. So, end of a sentence, with an adjective coming at the end of a sentence, we say it is appearing in a predicative position. If it comes before the noun it is describing, we say it has come in attributive position. What else is here? The speaker uses an adjective to point out which noun is meant. The speaker uses an adjective to point out which noun is meant. Which noun is meant? Isn't this the same as describing it? Yes. If I have a group of things or a group of nouns, I can choose to describe or to point out the exact noun I mean by using an adjective. So we say the speaker uses an adjective to point out which noun is meant, so the listener can identify it from the rest. There are many nouns. I want to point out the exact noun I mean from the large group. I will describe for you that noun using an adjective. We have rulers here. We have rulers. Our rulers are here. Okay, this may be a piece, but take it to be a ruler. One is this, then the other is this one. So, if I tell you to go and get me a ruler, I've told you, leave alone the size. Just look at it as a ruler and this as a ruler. If I tell you to go and get me a ruler, the rulers are there. If I say get me a ruler, I have not specified which ruler you're going to get me, but just go and get me a ruler. You'll come, pick this one and bring it to me. I'll grab it and say, thank you, you understood my message. My message was, go and get me a ruler. Did I describe the ruler I wanted? Never. Meaning, you can just pick any ruler and deliver it to me, and I'll appreciate. Then, if one came up with this one still, I would say, many thanks to you. Why? Obviously, I will be happy because I've got what I wanted. What I wanted was a ruler. I didn't say which ruler, I didn't describe it. So, you just pick any ruler, bring it to me, and I'll be grateful. Now that the rulers are back in their position, I'm telling you to go and get me a long ruler. A long ruler. You have to check the size. Is it short? This must be long. So I'll choose this one. The teacher sent me to bring a long ruler. I brought the long one and I left the short one because the adjective long specifically points to this very ruler. So the teacher has used an adjective which is long to point out which noun is meant. So I, the listener, have been able to identify it from the rest of the items in that category. Here we have chairs. Okay, we have chairs in this room. If you told me, okay, if I told you to go anywhere in this room and get me a chair, you'd bring a brown chair, maybe a white chair, maybe a blue chair. Why? The teacher was not specific on which chair he wanted, on the color of the chair he wanted. What if the same teacher uses an adjective of color to describe the very chair he wants or the specific chair he wants? You'll go to that set of chairs. We have brown, white, and blue. The teacher has told you to bring, let's say, a white chair. He has used the word white, an adjective, to describe the exact chair he wants. So you deliver blue? No. You deliver brown? He will say no to that. You identify the white chair because he has used the adjective white to describe the chair he wants. Hope you have understood me. If we go to another which is maybe, now I don't want a white chair, I want a blue chair. I've used the adjective blue to describe the chair so that you can easily identify it from the rest. The blue chair is here. I'll take it to the teacher and he will always be appreciative of what I have done. Hope you are learning how we can use adjectives to describe nouns. In this case, we have been describing chairs as our nouns. Let's look at examples of adjectives in sentences. You'll be able to identify now which position. Is it attributive or predicative, depending on where it appears? Examples of adjectives in sentences. You should be able to identify the adjective as well as the noun without guessing. Tom is a smart man. I repeat, Tom is a smart man. In this sentence, there is a noun and an adjective. Let's first identify the nouns. The nouns are here, Tom and man. But now, which word has been used to talk more about Tom? The word is that one, smart. I have used smart to describe this man. I have used smart to describe the man I'm talking about. We've said the word man is our noun. So we have described the noun man using the adjective smart. Meaning, smart is our adjective in this sentence, but in which position is it? In which position is it? An adjective can come before or after the noun. Oh, where's the noun? The noun is here. And the adjective has appeared before this noun. Meaning, the word smart in this sentence has been used attributively or used in attributive position. I repeat, the word for the adjective smart has been used in attributive position. I believe serious people are following. Smart is an adjective used in attributive position, meaning before the noun it is describing. Second example, Tom is smart. Which noun are we describing? We are describing the noun Tom. We are describing the noun Tom using the adjective smart. Smart adds more information to Tom. Do you see Tom? Yes, I see him. How do you see him? He is smart. Tom is smart. Smart is our adjective in that sentence, describing the noun man. Example 3, we have, this is a wide classroom. We repeat, this is a wide classroom. Which noun are we describing here? From example 1, there is some bit of similarity to example 3. We have, which noun are we describing? Obviously, the classroom. How are we describing the classroom? We've described it as wide. So wide is our adjective. Maybe we didn't identify the position for this. Since it is coming in any position or after the noun, it must be used predicatively, or it has been used in predicative position. Predicative position. I believe semi-candidates, you are following. We have used smart in predicative position or in end position or after the noun. Which noun? Tom. 3. We have the word wide. We've already read the sentence. How has wide been used in this sentence? Predicatively or attributively? Let's see. It is coming before the noun, just like example 2, meaning it has been used in attributive position. Attributive position. Attributive position of an adjective is that position where the adjective appears before the noun it describes. The last example. This classroom is very wide. Sentences are almost the same. The only difference is the positioning of adjectives. Here, it's the same adjective in fact, but the position differs. Here we are describing the classroom using wide in attributive position. And in number 4, we are describing the same classroom, the same noun classroom, using the adjective wide in predicative position or in end position. Predicative position or end position. Predicative position is also called end position. So that's all about the example sentences of adjectives as you have seen from number 1 to 4. Let's go ahead to look at other examples of adjectives apart from 1 and 2, smart and wide. Which other adjectives can you think of? Words that you can use to describe nouns. There are very, very many. If teacher Mandy chose to write for you adjectives, he would write from this corner to the bottom corner of the board, same board, and he would still say he has not finished all of them. So let's look at a few examples of words that can be used to describe nouns. We talked about a long ruler and a short one. Meaning, short is an adjective. Short is an adjective, and its opposite, which is long. Maybe another opposite. We can learn another opposite of short, which is tall. Yes, tall with height. Then long, opposite of short, measured horizontally. We talk of another adjective which can be, we can talk of a tall person or a tall tree and a short one. Now we have a classroom. Describe it. One used wide. Another can say, no. Today your classroom is dirty. I'm describing it as dirty. So dirty is an adjective. The other adjective I can use in a sentence is white. We've been seeing a white chair, so we talk of white as an adjective that was used to describe a chair. Another adjective, you normally read books. Some books are boring, others are interesting. So both words can be used to describe books. So you can talk about a boring book. A boring book. You read it, useless, boring. Then, if you find it not boring, then it is this word, interesting. An interesting book. We have drivers. We have drivers that cause accidents, and most of the drivers who cause accidents are this word. You can describe them. The accidents in Uganda nowadays are caused by dash drivers, reckless. Reckless. In that sentence is a word we have used to describe drivers who cause most of the accidents in Uganda, reckless drivers. So drivers is the noun, but reckless is our adjective. Which other adjective can you think of? Last year, we learned about a simple topic. Maybe you learned about peace and security, that is P5 term 3. Maybe banking, P5 term 3. Simple topic. Simple is our adjective. Which other word can we think of as our adjective? Simple. What's the opposite of simple? Simple, the opposite is complex or complicated, or let's use this P6 word, hard topic. Yes, we do hard papers, others do simple papers. That is during exams. Color words are all adjectives. Did you know that? Color words are all adjectives. Okay, let's talk of maybe material. Talk of material, where we have gold, which is an adjective. You hear, so and so is an athlete for Uganda, and he or she has won a gold medal. Gold is an example of an adjective. In this case, we are using gold in a attributive position to describe the noun medal. Medal is a noun there. Next, or last in the list, you can think of other adjectives like, yes, Ugandan. Ugandan is an adjective. Did you know that? Ugandan is an adjective, but it's called a proper adjective. Ugandan is an adjective in the category of adjectives known as proper adjectives. Let me indicate in brackets so that
later in this same topic or in P7, when the teacher is teaching about this stuff, you remember teacher man talked about in the P6 proper adjectives
which are formed from proper nouns. Why am I capitalizing proper capital P and adjective capital E? Because I'm just laying emphasis on this. Proper adjectives are all written starting with capital letters. It's Ugandan. Why are they written starting with capital letters? Because they are formed from proper nouns. They are formed from proper nouns. So, having learned about this, and having heard about the sentences I've been trying to construct for you, I believe you have been following, we can now attempt our original activity, which is about constructing sentences using given adjectives. So let's read the instructions. Construct a sentence using each of the adjectives given below. I repeat, construct a sentence using each of the adjectives given below. The sentence must be meaningful. The sentence must have the right punctuation marks. Meaning, then the right punctuation are key in your answer, which is to be marked right. So we have our first word as funny. Maybe, funny is our first word. You're going to use funny in a sentence. Use funny in a sentence because all of them are adjectives. The teacher has just explained how adjectives are used in sentences. So refer to that explanation and you'll be able to construct meaningful sentences using the words that are given to you here. Next adjective is dangerous. Use dangerous in a sentence. Then see we have lazy. You're going to construct a sentence, a meaningful sentence using lazy. In most cases, I remember this drama in PLE. There are times children, should I say all children? Probably not all. Children are given a lot of space in PLE. You see a word like sad, and they tell you construct a sentence using sad. You see one line, another long line, two long lines, and you feel when I construct a sentence on only one line, this teacher will think I'm useless, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me show him that I can use all that space given to me. You write a story of 2 lines because you want to fill the whole space that the teacher has given you. It's not like that. Your answer is not marked depending on its length. It is marked depending on the meaning in it and the way you have punctuated it. Let there be a meaningful sentence. Leave alone the length. As long as the sentence is meaningful, you'll get the answer right. You may write your answer to here. Let me give you an example. For the adjective lazy, I'm going to use the adjective lazy, but I may not use the whole of the space I've been given. Nekesa. This is my example. Is a lazy girl. When I look at the space I have used, it's, I think, less than half of the line. But my answer is nice. My answer is correct. Nekesa is a lazy girl. I have used the adjective lazy to describe the noun girl, which girl refers to the same noun mentioned earlier, Nekesa. Nekesa is a lazy girl. All this space has been left out, but the answer is correct. So be accurate in your answering. Don't just try to fill the gap from here to the end. You may reach the end with a very wrong answer and some maybe wrong spellings. So you have to be careful. That lazy has been used in the sentence. Nekesa is a lazy girl. I have used the adjective lazy the right way, and that's enough. and I have punctuated well. That's what I want you to do as you attempt another question here. Next is SAD, which is sad. Use sad to describe any noun you can think of. The adjective sad. The other adjective we are going to use today is shabby. Use shabby in a sentence to describe the noun. Few, then intelligent. Next, you're going to write a sentence using the word famous, using the adjective famous. Remember, these are all adjectives and they are used to describe nouns. They are used to describe nouns. Follow that same trend. The second last word is reckless. I remember cheating for your exams. I remember using the word reckless in this same lesson. So, refer to it and think of your own answer. Success as you try that. We have the last word as good. Use good in a sentence. When you construct the sentences meaningfully and you punctuate them the right way, surely, how many marks you will get, including mine, because mine is already there. You'll obviously have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 marks. I wish everybody success. We now go to another important part about adjectives. Another important aspect concerning adjectives, and this is about the formation. We have learned about adjectives and how they are used to describe nouns in sentences. So today we are just looking at the introduction. Then in the next lesson we will look at further stuff, further information about adjectives. Introduction to formation. We read this important note, which is adjectives can be formed from both nouns and verbs. Yes, adjectives can be formed from both these nouns and these verbs. We have a noun, we have a verb. Either a noun or a verb can be used to form an adjective. What else? Having learned that adjectives can be formed from nouns and verbs, what else do we need to note? We form adjectives using suffixes. We form adjectives using suffixes. You master that today. Most adjectives you can think of are formed using suffixes. You may want to know, what is a suffix, teacher? What is a suffix? A suffix is that word talked about in the dictionary. Some kids, if you have to open dictionaries, open the dictionary and try to find out what's a suffix. In fact, when you open the dictionary, don't hesitate to look up other words, such as from suffix. You'll discover there is a sister suffix, and that sister is known as prefix. So prefix and suffix, let me teach you this as well. Prefix is the opposite of SUFIX, suffix. So this and this are sisters or brothers. They are born to the same father, maybe the same mother, and that mother is an affix. Try looking up the word affix, the word prefix, and the word suffix. But today we are centering our focus on the word suffix, because it is the one talked about in the explanation. We are saying we can form adjectives using suffixes. What is a suffix? It's a letter or group of letters added to the end of a word to change its meaning. Say it again. You read the definition given on the board, and we are saying a suffix is a letter or group of letters added to the end. Where is a suffix added? It is added to the end. Oh, if it is added to the end of a word, then it is called a suffix. Hey, I said the suffix has a sister called a prefix, meaning a prefix is added to the beginning, whereas a suffix, which is normally used in formation of adjectives, is added to the end of a word to change its meaning. The moment you add a suffix to a word, the meaning totally changes. Like I said, we are just looking at an introduction, yes, to what we are going to cover next in the next lesson. NB. NB
means not well. Let me teach you the full form of this today. Not well.
What are we supposed to not well? That suffixes and letters or groups of letters added to the end of a word to change its meaning. For example, examples of suffixes. You've heard of words that end in OUS. We have one example here on the same board. OUS. Check this word. OUS. We added OUS to a certain word and we changed its meaning. Which word is that? Danger. We got danger, we added OUS and we totally changed its meaning. So you can use OUS, you can add OUS to a certain word and we form an adjective. So dangerous is an adjective formed from danger. The next suffix is ISH. 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 I mean a suffix. What else? We have ABLE, call it able. Able is another suffix. What else? IVE is another suffix used to form adjectives. We have FUL and finally Y. In the next lesson, we look into the details of suffixes. Adjectives that are formed using suffixes like Y, for, IVE. We'll have a long list and we'll be completing it together. See you when you see me. But I wish you success as you try out this activity and you get ready to learn more about formation of adjectives using suffixes. That is in the next lesson. This was just kind of an introduction. I remain Teacher Monday, P6 English. It's term 1. We have to start with the right speed and spirit. God bless you.